Alright guys, so welcome to the class of 2018 worst Gunpla list. Now, as I explained in the previous video, how the scoring system works, should have that down. If you somehow didn't find that, go back and rewatch it. It'll be probably up there in the thingy. So, the worst list. The things that suffered the most, either from massive lack of articulation, too many stickers. If it was like an extreme P-Bandai price, that kind of hurt it as well. There's a lot of kits that were low on the scale, but these 5 are for sure the worst. And I didn't have to really nail these down, didn't have to nitpick a whole lot to get these 5. They just were as they were. So let's start off with the number 5 worst kit. Or rather, the best worst kit, if you want to think of it that way. So this one, I really didn't dig that much when I reviewed it compared to its mainline counterpart. It's going to be the HG Build Divers GBD? I forget. Either way, GPB Leo. The main reason it falls so far on the list is mostly because of the crappy stickers, the crappy alternate heads, and if you don't build it with the Leo parts, when you build it with just its specific parts, it really does take the kit down way too many notches. Now, it is a cool kit in the color scheme. I keep mine, as you can see on the screen, I keep it in its actual Leo form, and I dig the alternate color scheme. I like that. And I even had a little bit of fun playing with the stickers, even though they are terrible on the alternate heads. So that's why this one is the quote-unquote best of the worst. Moving on. Coming in at number 4. Kind of a surprise considering how much I've liked the rest of the line, but it is the SD Cross Silhouette Nightingale. Now, before you all get up in arms, and of course I didn't do a real kind of review for it, I did a short review in the middle of a live stream, or at the beginning of a live stream. If you build it with the CS frame, like I did, mind you, all of the things that all the SDCSs I'm considering with the frame built in, it's kind of a boring kit. It's so funny that it came from an RE100, and this literally is like a shrunk down RE100 version. To make it accurate, you're going to need a lot of paint for doing all the thrusters, all the things. Stickers aren't terrible. The red plastic is not great. I've got a lot of bad nubs and things like that for cleanup purposes. And mind you, I am going to be painting it, so anything that I'm going to have to fix just to paint it is also a thing. Parts of it have fallen off on me very easily while handling it. I don't really dig the way the chest comes together, kind of where the head would on a normal thing. But the articulation is also limited because it's so bulky, so you actually lose articulation even with the cross silhouette frame. And that big gun, very much like Sazabi, gets in the way of mobility and holding things properly. The only thing that really saves it to some degree is it's very cool. And it was a little bit fun. The cross silhouettes tend to be fun, but this one, sadly to say, falls pretty low on the list. Next thing up, number 3. Probably not too big of a surprise either, and some people are going to say, well, it's not very fair to count these. I do. The Gunpla, as a whole, because I'm just counting all the ones we built this year, and I say we because it's me and the wife both built them, not really sharing a whole lot of different experiences in building them, just they are. Now, the horror ball is actually very, very cool. I like the add-on parts, stuff like that. Actually, the coolness factor and the fun factor are what's super high for the Gunpla. However, quality, there's nothing really to be low on or high on quality. It's just what it is. But articulation, there's nothing. It's just got little ball joints to do things. It's kind of stupid. That's really why it's so low. It's just the lack of articulation. The fun is there, the quality isn't bad, and they're cool looking. Falling just below that, the 00 petite guys. They really have the same problems that the Gunpla do. They just have slightly better articulation, and I mean very slightly. But they also drop off on the fun because they're repeats. They're a little bit cool, not very, with the new add-ons. You have the signs and you have a lot of decorating stickers, stuff like that. They could have done more with them. They're just very limited. And yeah, I'm really scraping the bottom of the barrel to get the get to bottom here, no pun intended, but it's more reissues of the same thing we've had for a couple of years now, and that really does hurt it. It's more and more reissues. So you would think that the grazes would fall under that category as well, but no. Although that being said, technically number 6 is the shield graze. So there's that. So moving on to the worst kit of the year. I really thought this kit would be better than it was, but being that I never built the kit it was sourced from, I guess I couldn't base it on anything. And it is the Gym 3 Beammaster. I really didn't like this kit when building it. Wasn't a lot of fun. It had a lot of paint apps that were necessary to make it look somewhat accurate, including adding more little green stickers, although that's more on me, but it's technically part of the design, so it did need it. It wasn't just on me to do it. The fact that it broke on me, the fact that it can't hold its weapons really well, any of those things, it's not very articulate. It's not terrible, but it's not very articulate. And part separation should have been better on a lot of things. But for the most part, it is the worst kit that I built all year. And that's saying a lot, considering some of the faults that even the things in the mid-range have. But that's pretty much it for my worst list. If you had even worse builds than these, let me know. If you think that I had things that were worse on the list that I missed, by all means. But that's going to be my top 5 worst, and even, I guess, best worst, if you want to go there. So guys, if you stick around for the actual best list, which is coming up next, sweet. Now, that's not going to be quite as a concise 5, because there's a lot of ties when you get to the top, because a lot of things are equally good for different reasons. So we'll cover that when we get there. So stick around for that video. See you guys in a bit.